Hey there everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Northwest Craftsman. Today I'm going to be taking you on an adventure with me to get a brand new tool that I have to drive 6 hours round trip in order to get this thing, but it's a steal of a deal, it's totally worth it, and it's going to be a great addition to my shop. Alright, let's go. Of course, a necessary stop when I'm going through Sisters is to get coffee at Sisters Coffee Company. Not sponsored, just good coffee. It of course also doesn't hurt that they have some beautiful woodworking in there. So to respect the seller's privacy, I did not film anything that we were doing while I was talking with him and while we were initially loading it in, but through that time lapse you should have been able to see that I got myself a nice Grizzly jointer, and then I also picked up a drum sander, which I was not expecting to do today. When I get home, which for you guys will be here in a couple of seconds, we'll talk through why I got these things and then kind of what the plan is. Alrighty, and back home. This is a small and insignificant note, but I am thrilled because the two did not even move around at all when I was in. I was checking the gaps between everything and I was able to strap it down so nothing moved, and that's an achievement because it always seems like it's somewhat of an experiment when I'm strapping together. But anyway, this is what it looks like. This nice spider web back here. But I'm going to go ahead and grab a front loader, get these guys loaded onto pallets, and then just set them in my shop and we'll figure out how to get them set up. Alright, so with everything unloaded, I wanted to talk you guys through a little bit why I got both of these things. So the jointer originally I purchased was the Delta Uniplane. And sorry, mosquitoes are out. I got the Delta Uniplane, and I have just had so much trouble with that thing. With the design of the cutter head being as large as it is, I kept on popping my breaker, and I haven't been able to get around that. I tried rewiring it for 220, and it wouldn't come around and just wouldn't start. Checked my circuit's fine, so something's going on with the motor, and it was just a pain. But on top of all of that, the size of the actual bed was so small that the effective size that I could effectively joint was just tiny. It was just teeny tiny. And so I said, you know, I should probably just take the plunge and get an actual jointer. But the problem is the market right now is so stinking hot for jointers that I was just never able to find anything until this guy came up. And I was debating between getting a 6-inch and an 8-inch, and I pretty much everybody that I've heard online or looked at online has said, I got a 6-inch and then almost immediately wanted to get an 8-inch because I just needed the extra capacity. And so I was really going to try and wait for an 8-inch because even on my projects, that should theoretically be enough for just about everything that I'm going to do. But everything was running for over $1,000, well over $1,000 for anything reputable. And so this guy popped up at like $625 for the entire thing. And I know that the original planers, the original jointers, and if I misuse those throughout this, I'm sorry. I don't know why my brain does the planer jointer thing, but I got a jointer, not a planer. So I know that originally these tools would go for a lot less than the $625, but everything that I'm seeing is those are on the forums in like 2012, and inflation and demand and other things are causing the prices on these to just soar. So I felt like $625 was a pretty good deal. If you don't think that was a good deal, would love to hear from you in the comment section down below for what you got your jointer for in modern times. If you got it back in the 2012, 2015 timeframe or earlier, I don't really know how to compare back to that time. Anyways, I thought it was a great deal. And then when I got there, he was also trying to get rid of this drum sander. And I've been wanting a drum sander for a while because end grain cutting boards and just making my sanding life a whole lot easier is something that I've been wanting to do. And I do a lot of big flat projects and the drum sander is just perfect for those. So I'm going to give it a go and see how well it works. But for the rest of this video, I'm not going to go through and do the setup. I will have a whole separate video on how to set up a jointer for the first time because I both need to do the research and do a lot of learning around that. And I want to make sure that you guys are getting good information if you're going to set up your jointer. So thank you guys for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Even though it took me 6 hours and 300 miles round trip to get this guy, I think it was worth it, and I'm super excited to get it up and running, and I'm super excited to get it set up and get it start working in the shop. All right, thank you guys again for joining. I really appreciate it. Happy woodworking. Bye.